Good evening, everyone. Today's topic is crowdfunding. I think you must have heard this in the newspapers or on social media or on different modes of communication. You must have heard, and it's very important from the civil's point of view also. I think 2 years before I have seen one question on this, so make sure that you are very clear with this concept. Now, understand like this: if you want to start a business, you need money. And how do you pull it from? Traditionally, you will go to banks. Otherwise, you will register yourself as a public company and try to raise money from public. And you also go to bank and borrow money. So you might raise money from maybe from your own sources or from financial institutions or in the form of shares, in the form of bonds, debentures, so on and so forth. Right? You mobilize money from different ways. But crowdfunding is something different. If you're a startup company and if you have a new idea and that is completely unique, you're confident that that will have a lot of growth in future, you will start spreading your idea through social media, maybe through Twitter, Facebook, or through internet, or through different YouTube. Maybe you'll give some presentations about the idea, convincing people that this concept is completely new, innovative, and this concept will have a lot of benefits and it will also contribute a lot in the society. There are three kinds of people in the society. Try to always understand. Some people will give you money without expecting anything. Some people will give you money expecting something. Some people will give you money expecting a shareholding in the company. So, therefore, as far as this concept is concerned, some people might give you money as a donation where you don't have to refund this money, and some people will expect a reward from you. Maybe, suppose if it is a new product that you're going to launch, and this new product they might expect, or some returns they will expect, some money they will expect. They might tell you X amount I'm giving, I want this money. So you will tell them in the beginning itself that yes, this is going to be my expectation if you take this money from me. It is not about big money because people are generally not worried because they give small amounts, and even if something happens also the risk is going to be very less. All right, there are different platforms through which we mobilize money. And the third important category is that he expects an equity shares in your company which is being started by you. So it's like a DRE concept, right? So crowdfunding is a practice of funding a new project which is basically innovative, mobilizing money from large number of people in small amounts, and there's going to be a big fund which will be formulated, and this fund is going to be utilized for the business that you are thinking of starting. So step number one, you got to spread the news about the idea that you have through different social media, different media, and you have to provide a scheme through which you will inform and communicate to people. If they invest in your company, whether small or big, whatever it is, what is the return, what is the benefit, etc. Sometimes you can say that you do a lot of charity with that product, and that is going to save a lot of people, maybe children education, women empowerment, or rural development, or something like development of fishermen, tribal people, etc. You can say and convince them to give a donation, and that is a new idea. Maybe you want to feed some people, you want to educate people, etc. There are so many things. If you look at the fourth point, it will give you a clear idea. It could be debt based, it's like as if you're borrowing money. It could be equity based, it could be cause based. You have a noble cause for which you need money, and they would not be in a position to do on their own. So you are telling them that this cause is going to bring in a lot of changes in the society, etc. Maybe reward based, software value, donation based, etc. So there's so many things like this. It's like, nowadays in India, crowdfunding is very popular in the form of triple P, that is public private partnership, and mostly equity based model is going on in India, because nobody will give you money just like that for a donation. Even if they give you donation, I don't think so more money you would be able to mobilize in this, but in the form of reward mode and equity mode, you will mobilize a lot of money. That is exactly the concept. All right. Okay, so it is like you have an idea, you want to start something, you don't have funds. Traditional ways, people won't trust you because it's very risky for them to support. There's no formal way of mobilizing money, and you can raise money in an informal way differently. All right. Yes, that is a point. So just go through these points now. Having this so project. So basically, in this crowdfunding, you will find a person who has the project, who has the idea, or you will have a group of people who are actually supporting this idea. Sometimes you would want to invest in that project because the group which is promoting this is having a lot of reputation, and the platform, the mode, the method. Okay, the method channel through which you will try to launch your idea, and etc. Say for example, you the platform is Facebook, the platform is Twitter, the platform is YouTube, the platform is Google Internet. Different ways, right? Examples of crowdfunding in India, we have got like artists are mobilizing money, IT people are mobilizing money. Like you see, second point, if Paralympic badminton star Mark Dharma crowdfunded to compete. So everybody thought, okay, it's a Paralympic badminton, and obviously it's very difficult for companies to sponsor such games or sports. So you will find like very less encouragement for such people. Arts, you will find less encouragement. Culture, you will find less encouragement. Supporting rural education will find less encouragement. So for all such kind of projects, yes, this is an idea you can actually start. What are the platforms? We have got many platforms. Like if you have a question in prelims, like these are all names they will give you and ask you whether they are what, I mean, they belong to which category. You can just think about crowd like Wishberry, we have Millup, we have Miracle Foundation, we have Rangde, we have Wishberry funds creative artists, Millup is for charity, and Rangde is for internet-based micro lending platform for entrepreneurs who are basically located in rural areas. Okay, and Crowdcube we have, Seeders we have on internet platforms, especially for small scale industries. All right, we have number of other platforms like this. There are different platforms. You will understand now when once you start. Hearing these things, crowdfunding, you will understand that you will need to have a platform. Each platform you will focus on one very important thing, right? Yeah. The next thing, what are the benefits? The benefits point of view, if you could see, very efficient, it consumes less time, and it promotes entrepreneurship, innovation, and a lot of new businesses can be promoted. And yes, you can explore different mechanisms. You can promote different ideas. You can give back to the society. You can definitely bring in changes in the society with this, and it's very easy to get because people will not be so much worried because they're not giving huge money, huge funds. All right, all these things we could see, less cost, very easy to mobilize. Explaining people is very difficult, and most of the people will try to support you because it's related to agriculture, rural areas, innovation, new idea, new software, something you might be promoting a music or culture, journalism, or short filmmaking, which is going to be used for rural areas, education, women empowerment, employment generation, feeding people, etc. etc. Right? So, what are the issues nowadays related to? It's very risky for new small scale investors because this funding, I mean, you can't convince a person to invest in this kind of what do you call projects unless and until you tell them that this is something new. So, showing something new is not possible for everybody. So every time you need to show a new idea, and that new idea sometimes may or may not work. If it fails, loss of reputation is going to be very high, and things will go wrong. So 50-50 chances. And third thing, if in case you have got an idea, if that idea is not patented or copyrighted or trademarked, etc., etc., so there's every possibility you have to, I mean, your idea may be copied, so that's not easy. It's very difficult, so you can't minimize competition before the idea gets very popularized. There will be a lot of competition. Okay, that is one thing. Another risk is regulatory framework. I mean, these are not fully regulated because it's not a formal banking system. It's not a formal banking system where RBI interferes and does all these things. RBI does not interfere because RBI is thinking, it knows, but since it is not worried about, it's not so much worried because the money which is pumped in through this is very very less. But from the entrepreneurship point of view, yes, it is very easy, but you have to work a lot and make sure that your startup company which was started on this funding should be developed. There's a chances of fraud also. Some people just create an idea and mobilize money and just run away. There's every possibility people, black money people, or the people who have earned money through illegal sources might create this as if they have mobilized money and they only fund, and that money might be converted into white money. There is a chance. Okay, so it requires a lot of regulatory framework. Government is seriously thinking about this. There are some regulations, but government is right now. Government has not yet come out with a specific law in this regard. Okay, how it should be. Like I'm telling you, there should be. I mean, way forward. I'm trying to tell you. So what should we do if crowdfunding is going to have many risks like this, which we have discussed above? So what should be done? There should be an accountability and transparency, and the activities have to be made legal, and there should be a proper accounting system. Government should have a regulatory system on this, and we have to ensure the money which is raised from different people. We should have KYC, and we should know the contributor, because the source of money is very important. That this can come from anywhere, right? Documentation is very important, and obviously we need to, since it's mostly private entity, we need to understand that they're not completely profit oriented. If in case they don't earn profit, there is a possibility that they will shut it down, because in the beginning you have donated money or you have given money thinking that this will help the society to grow up and this will help actually a new industry or new entrepreneurship, but later on they just shut it down in between because of no profit. There's every possibility because they might think short term. That is one thing. So pro business environment have to be established in India, because slowly government has to make it little, uh, you know little regulated, and certain amount of monitoring and checking is very important when it comes to. So from the examination point of view, please focus on the issues related to crowdfunding and the benefits related to crowdfunding, and what is exactly the crowdfunding. I repeat, a startup company, with whatever concept they have, they might want to promote rural development, they might want to promote agriculture, they might want to promote culture, they might want to promote technology, they might want to bring in some change in the society with innovative ideas, etc. So they need money. Traditional way, raising money in the beginning for their idea, it is very difficult. So therefore, unconventional way is this. And I told you, when people invest money or give you money, there are three objectives. There can be three types of crowdfunders. One could be giving you money in the form of donations. They won't expect anything. Basically, they give you money because the cause for which you are actually raising money is very important for them. And some people expect rewards, fixed rewards. Maybe they will tell you after 2 years or 3 years they're expecting something. And the third important thing is, some people, they'll give you money and they expect some shares, equity shares, to be given to them so that they will remain as members or partners in that company. From the civil services examination point of view, please, my points are prepared for your mains exam also and prelims also. Make sure this notes is properly saved and filed. Afterwards, take a printout and file it properly, and make sure you revise this before you go ahead with the examination. That's all for today. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.